Dodoria is a member of the Frieza force. He is a ruthless warrior who serves alongside Zarbon as one of Frieza's two generals and right-hand man. Dodoria is a large, pink alien warrior with spikes protruding from his arms and head. He also wears a blue variant of the common battle armor most of Frieza's men have, including brown shoulder pads and a green scouter. In the manga, Dodoria only has 3 fingers per hand, while in the anime he has 4 more human-like fingers and a thumb. Although Toriyama's manga art depicts Dodoria as pink, his later art of Dodoria for the Kanzenban depicts him as having golden skin. Dodoria has a rather brash and vulgar demeanor, in sharp contrast to the more refined attitude seen in his comrade Zarbon. He is intelligent, but often lets his anger get the best of him, which results in violent rage and an uncontrollable desire for carnage and destruction, with Frieza's strong word being the only thing that can keep him calm. Dodoria can also feel extreme fear in the presence of a much stronger enemy, who can corner him with no opportunity for victory in sight. He also tends to underestimate his enemies. This was seen when he saw Bardock survive his attack, the Namekians gaining strength and Vegeta overpowering him. He is also quite careless when it comes to finishing off his enemies, due to his habit of underestimating them. He is also very proud of his strength. Of all Frieza's men, Dodoria is undoubtedly the cruelest. He is very sadistic and likes to murder Science and Namekians. He has no qualms about murdering children like Cargo and Dend or elderly people like Nori. He is also very violent and tends to solve his problems with force. He also tends to look down on Science, much like Zarbon does. However, despite having suggested to himself that it would be better to exterminate the Science, when Frieza blew up the planet, and anyone on it, including his own army, in age 737, he was shown looking at those the Emperor described as fireworks, with a look of horror. Furthermore, Dodoria was shown nervous when Frieza ordered Zarbon to open the ship, without waiting for the army to return. This means that Dodoria's cruelty and evil had a limit, while Frieza laughed maniacally at the genocide he caused. In Xenoverse 2, it is revealed that despite his brash personality, he is good to the troops under his command, even taking them out to eat when he is in a good mood, which is supported by his good treatment of the future warrior when they are your students and/or part of your faction. As a result, he is popular among his men and among the rougher members of the Frieza force, although many of the more intellectual types tend to favor Zarbon over him. He is also favored by Zarbon, who is known to be somewhat of a perfectionist due to his obsession with beauty, while Dodoria is less concerned with appearances and more willing to get his hands dirty alongside his men, making him a better commanding officer. Field. However, Dodoria can recognize talent and value the warrior as a subordinate, even willing to follow his advice, although he also uses his brains to his advantage to gain advancement with his master Frieza and surpass Zarbon, who is described as a kind of rival. For Dodoria in the Xenoverse series. In Dragon Ball Legends, it is revealed that Dodoria does not like the taste of Earth's food, even trying to destroy a restaurant, only to be stopped by Shalot, who finds Earth's food, including that made by the restaurant in question, delicious and implies that Dodoria has bad taste, which makes sense, considering famous foodies like Beerus and Whis would also vehemently disagree. Dodoria originally served under King Cold as a member of the Cold Force along with Zarbon and the Jinyu Force before his retirement. After he retired he passed control to his son Frieza. The Cold Force was renamed the Frieza Force and Dodoria eventually began serving Frieza alongside Zarbon going forward. Because of his high level of power, he became Frieza's enforcer and one of his 2 highest-ranking assistants and generals, the other being Zarbon. According to Toyotaro's interpretation, during Dragon Ball Super, Broly, Dodoria and 2 of his subordinates killed Tora and the remaining members of his squad after being contacted by Leak about the order to return to planet Vegeta, similar to what happened in Dragon Ball, Bardock, Goku's father. In the latter, Dodoria was sent to Planet Meat to eradicate Team Bardock, a Scion strike force sent to that planet and thus potential survivors of the planned Scion genocide. Dodoria accompanies Zarbon alongside his master Frieza to the planet Namek in search of the Dragon Balls, which Frieza plans to use to gain immortality, thus maintaining his dominance in the universe. Dodoria is able to help him collect the majority of the Dragon Balls by mercilessly massacring the Namekians as a means of extracting information from them. Vegeta soon appears on Namek with his own desire to find the Dragon Balls and quickly kills Chui, who was sent to get rid of Vegeta. As he does so, Dodoria'S tracker runs wild, telling him that Vegeta's power level is 24,000, which Dodori'a dismisses as a malfunction, as this would mean Vegeta was stronger than him. At the same time, a group of 3 Namekian warriors arrive to save the survivors of Frieza's most recent attack. Dodoria reads the power levels of the Namekian warriors as lower than that of Frieza's soldiers and begins to mock them. However, the group of Namekians strengthens and easily kills Frieza's low-level minions, confusing Dodoria. After the village elder Muri ruins their chances of locating the other Dragon Balls by destroying their scouts, Dodoria attempts to attack the elderly Namekian in revenge, though he is quickly called back by Frieza to deal with the 3 Namekian warriors first. Dodoria makes quick work of the 3 under Frieza's orders, brutally massacring the Namekians without mercy, also citing when they try to join him that he is capable of handling 10 of them. Hoping to prevent further bloodshed, Muri then reveals the Dragon Ball's location in his village. Frieza asks him to reveal the locations of the other villages as payment for Muri's earlier destruction of his scouts. Muri refuses and orders Cargo and Den to flee while he buys them time. Dodoria kills Cargo. In the manga, this was actually Frieza's doing, with a blow over Muri's shoulder, and then grabs Muri in a chokehold before brutally breaking his neck. As Dodoria moves forward to finish off Dend, an angry Gohan intervenes by kicking Dodoria into a Namekian house, thus Krillin and Gohan save the young Namekian. Dodoria, enraged by their interference, receives orders from Frieza to pursue them. Dodoria quickly catches up to the 3, managing to briefly capture Krillin. However, it is stopped by the temporary blindness that Krillin's sunburst induces, allowing them to seek refuge. Once Dodoria comes to his senses, he unleashes his Maximum Buster, demolishing the earth below. Convinced that this attack was enough to finish off Krillin, Gohan and Dend, Dodoria returns to Frieza, not realizing that the trio survived the attack by floating high above him. As he returns to Frieza, Dodoria is attacked and forced into the waters below by an unknown force. Upon emerging, he discovers that his attacker was none other than Vegeta, who has now decided to betray Frieza to achieve immortality and destroy Frieza and conquer the universe. Dodoria encourages him to escape while he can, but Vegeta decides to challenge Dodoria. Irritated by Vegeta's confidence, Dodoria tries to catch Vegeta's whisk, which he drops on the ground. However, Vegeta crushes him with his foot, as he can now feel energy. He then brings out his increased power. This reminds Dodoria of the time when Vegeta's power increase caused Zarbon's scouter to break. Reprimanding that Vegeta has grown stronger, Dodoria attempts to finish him off quickly with the Maximum Buster. Easily dodging the attacks, Vegeta then subdues Dodoria while telling him how Saiyans grow stronger with near-death experiences, as he did in their battle on Earth. With this, Dodoria realizes the true extent of Vegeta's power. In an attempt to save himself, Dodoria attempts to negotiate with Vegeta, offering to tell the secret behind the destruction of the Saiyan homeworld. Vegeta accepts the offer and frees him, while Dodoria informs Vegeta about the planet's true fate, and at the same time takes the opportunity to try to fly back to Frieza. Vegeta, however, does not forgive and reveals his anger at being his pawn, while declaring that he would pay. He ruthlessly eliminates the fleeing Dodoria with a Finish Blaster.